Here we go. The Air It Out Podcast. Live from a snowy North Main Street, Barrie, Vermont. Have you explored the all-new Mazda inventory over at Montpelier Mazda? You are not going to believe your eyes if you have not been on their site, MontpelierMazda.com. You got to check it out. Every model, every color imaginable, every style that you could possibly dream of. All you got to do is get on the website or stop in, better yet, to Montpelier Mazda and schedule a test drive. Very good morning to Linda, to Chris, to Glenn, to Stacy, and to the rest of you that are tuned in this morning, whether you're live on YouTube or Facebook. We appreciate your eyes, your ears. I'm J.D. Green. You got the Air It Out Podcast from Fly on the Wall Productions. We have a winter weather advisory until 7 o'clock tonight. For many of us, we have sleet that is pinging off the windshield or maybe your skylights at the house. But you can hear it. Yeah, it was bouncing off my windshield this morning driving. It was at times, I don't want to say the whole time, but at times there were maybe some white knuckles this morning getting in here for this old guy, running a few minutes behind as a result. But you know what I'm going to do right now? I am going to take the time with you to do this. Not always do I do the black coffee, but this morning, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, winter weather advisory until 7 o'clock for mixed precipitation. Snow and sleet, anywhere from 2 to 6. 2 to 6 inches. Ice accumulation of a light glaze to around 1/10 of an inch. Before I forget, the exit 5 Northfield exit ramp, if you're getting off the interstate, if you're on 89 South and you want to get off at Northfield, that's fine. That is open. It was closed earlier, but it's open now. So this is pretty much all of us in northern New York and central and northeast and northwest and southern Vermont. Can the National Weather Service just say all of Vermont? No. That would be too easy. But again, till 7 o'clock tonight. So roads, especially bridges and overpasses, going to be very slick and hazardous today. I've heard from a motorist who traveled in from 89 to, or from Burlington on 89 to Montpelier, and said for the most part, and this was this was a couple of hours ago, for the most part, the interstate wasn't that bad. But when you get off at some of these ramps, some of that transition, you go from roads that have been and the temperature is good for the salt because the salt's kind of working, but you go from relatively kind of clean roads into some slushy stuff, and you can get a surprise on you. So just be careful on the morning commute today, no matter where you are. All right. So again, sleet, pockets of freezing rain, going to be coming into the picture by mid-afternoon today. So if you have travel plans by mid-afternoon, like say 2 to 3 o'clock, and don't hold me to that, but just keep that in mind. If you can skip out early, it might be best to try to get back home or wherever you're going at a safe time. So 35 degrees, a little heat wave with all this fun weather from Mother Nature. It looks like a 12 tonight, cloudy skies. And I know I've got a friend in Florida that's listening this morning. He knows who he is. And I know what he's thinking and saying right now. God, I can't believe 12 degrees after all that shit coming down. 12 tonight, and then tomorrow, Friday, mix of sun and clouds in the morning. followed by mostly cloudy skies, gusty winds during the afternoon, and highs around 20 for the daytime high tomorrow. But the winds occasionally gusting well over 40 miles an hour. What's that mean? Well, it could mean that, we could get some power outages. Could be isolated, could be widespread. I don't know. This time of year, it is great to have a wood stove. It's great to have a generator, but not everybody does. So with that said, if you have neighbors that are disabled or elderly or in any other way might constitute a little check-in, throw them some love, give them a phone call, check in with them, send them a text, just make sure, the heat's on and they're okay. All right? This weekend, another system coming in Saturday. More snow showers. And Sunday, and I'm watching this thing Sunday right alongside you. Okay? Good morning, Joe, Clayton, Marion. We got a lot of people tuned in this morning. I'm watching that weather system on Sunday, too. Yes. What am I saying? What is the National Weather saying? National Weather Service saying? Hey, Jim, first-time listener. Good morning, buddy. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the Aired Out family. Sunday, let's see. Chance of snow 100%. 8 to 12 inches. 8 to 12 inches. So, a potential winter storm, or are we just saying a winter storm? Now, I was having fun with the National Weather Service, I think yesterday or the day before, saying what constitutes a winter storm? Is 1 to 3 inches? Is that a winter storm? And many Vermonters are saying, no, that's just called snow showers. But 8 to 12, what say you? Post a comment here, Jim, Donna, Zach. 8 to 12, would you say that is a winter storm? I'm leaning toward a resounding yes on that. Just drive carefully. And man, especially, Sunday into Monday, if you don't have plans, just stay put. I'm calling my buddy Zach here this morning. Zach, you're live. Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. Listen, you top of the morning to you. You sent me a text last night, and
Yeah, I did.
what? Wow, about Bill Frazier. You were watching this city council meeting happening live. Tell me what you caught. What you experienced.
So my experience was that they came out of what had been in the city council had been in executive session. I'd come on near the tail end of that executive session while everybody was waiting, and then they came back on, and a couple of motion was made to come out of executive session, and then exactly how I said it in the text, a motion was made to, I don't have it in front of me, but I will try to say it. Motion was made to instruct the mayor to, motion was made not to renew Bill Frazier's contract and to instruct the mayor to draw up a separation agreement, and that there would be severance, and June 30th would be Bill's last day.
How surprised do you think Bill Frazier, Montpelier city manager, was about last night?
I don't think he was surprised. He had written I guess he had written a letter to city staff earlier in the day, because February 5th, their last meeting, they had asked for legal counsel during during a routine evaluation of Bill's contract. Bill's contract should have gone through to March of 2026. And part of this contract required the council to decide whether to renew it. by March 1st of this year. Uh, and they, from what I could see, they took kind of a different action though, because his bill's going to be ending his work on June 30th, and there will be severance,
Yeah.
which is going to cost money.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Bill has, I think, I don't live in Montpelier. You do.
Right, yeah.
But my experiences with Bill have been somewhat limited over the years. But my general takeaway is that he's a great guy, and he's done
wonderful guy.
He's done an outstanding job. I mean, he's been at that post, Zach, since 1995, buddy.
30 years, sir.
30 years.
Yeah, unbelievable, huh? Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah.
Do we know, some of the reasoning behind this?
Don't have any real concrete information. I can only speculate. Maybe there's just some unhappiness somewhere. We know that Jack McCullough said that he thought the decision was misguided. The mayor, he said that on the council tape last night. So, I think that there is frustration. I believe that there's just frustration somewhere because, the city's having to make some dramatic cuts this year because of, low money situation here,
Sure.
finances. Everybody is.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the uncertainty, we just don't know what's going to come down the road,
Have you heard anything about what happens next here? Will there be, do we already have some folks that are sniffing this seat here and might want to get in on this and become the next city manager?
Well, I would believe there would be a search that would happen at some point. They'll do a search.
Okay.
And I believe Bill is committed to a transition. I cannot imagine what he is going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't even imagine his dedication to still do the job.
Sure.
I would be pretty frustrated.
Yeah.
I have to say I understand the critics. I get it. But man, they say that Bill always said in his yearly reports, it's easy to make fun of the, government officials, but we have some hardworking people out there, and one of them was Bill.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just was shocked.
Yeah.
I actually reacted on my Facebook. People thought I wasn't okay or something. I said, no, it wasn't like that, but I'm shocked.
Yeah.
And just to, this will be, there was another attempt to have Bill's job. The council almost terminated Bill. I think it was in 2016.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I knew something was up on February 5th. I really, felt like there was going to be something up. And I think Bill felt that too. That's why he wrote that letter a few hours before to city staff, indicating that he fully expected to not have his contract renewed.
Yeah, I've since you and I were chatting a little bit last night, I have chatted with one other person who has kind of resonated the same sentiment there. That they could feel it in the air. So, wow.
Yeah. But we don't know the reasoning, yet, and I'm not sure. Yeah, and what's interesting is we have a new city council that's going to come down in March. So people, who are leaving aren't really going to feel any repercussions out of this.
Listen, this is, Zach, this is small town Vermont. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to Bill and extend an invite for him to hop on the air with me here at some point, if and when, and I say both, if, first of all, and when he would ever want to. And maybe it'll be this summer. Maybe it'll be never.
Right.
But it's not easy for, you know, when you live in a small town, it's not easy to sometimes get on a microphone
Right.
in the media and kind of be, you know, super transparent. Bill's a classy guy. He will probably respectfully decline
Right.
and just take the high road, which of course that's what I'm expecting.
Right.
But I'm still going to invite him to come on the air here and just you know, just chat. Share
Just a really spectacular guy.
Yeah.
30 years. You know, I think that if he looks at it in the positive, like he has been looking at it, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's done a lot.
Right.
I think it's easy to criticize. I get it. We have that
course.
freedom still. We have that freedom to do that.
You're damn right.
So, and it's important to question your government. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying he's a very spectacular guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely wish him the best.
Great insight there, man, and very well said.
Yeah.
You know, Bill Frazier has been through. He has been driving his city through 2 catastrophic floods in a year's time. I mean, that's not easy for any city manager in any city anywhere.
No, in fact, you know, before the flood in 2023, just a few months before, we kind of were joking about it. I said 1992. I was around for that.
Yeah.
He said he wasn't, and he wasn't the manager at the time, and we made kind of a laugh. And then a few months later, we get this one.
Yeah. Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
You know.
Listen, man. Yeah. I hope you hop in here sometime.
I plan on hopping in, and we'll talk again in the future.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to wish Bill the absolute best and give him my best support.
Yeah. I think you and many other Vermonters are going to be doing that. Zach, thanks for hopping on, man.
Thank you. You take care.
Yeah. Great guy. I really appreciate Zach taking some time to hop on this morning. Joe Smith, stand by. I'm gonna try to connect with you this morning by phone. A couple of movies that I have just got to see. I just got to see them. Over at the Capitol Theater, FGB Theaters, of course, which is the Capitol Theater and the Paramount, right here in the Granite City. Playing some great movies. They always have the very latest flicks that are coming out. Did I say flicks? God, that sounds so 80s. Sorry. But Becoming Led Zeppelin is got to be one that I'm going to see. It's just one of those. It's happening. It's difficult to say, no, damn it. I'm going to the movies and nothing is going to stop me. But I'm going to do this one. Becoming Led Zeppelin, 6:45 tonight at the Capitol Theater in Montpelier. Captain America. Everybody's going to be lined up to see that. 6:45 also. You can get your tickets in advance, by the way. Skip the line. FGBtheaters.com. Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan story at 6:30 tonight. I saw that. It is one that I want to see again. I loved it. Dogman at 6:30 tonight and Love Hurts at 6:45. Again, at the Capitol Theater in Montpelier. How about the Paramount right here? Captain America is at 6:30 tonight, and Paddington in Peru is at 6:40. The Green Mountain Film Fest is coming soon. Monkeys on the way. Amateur. These are all movies that are soon going to be making their way to FGB theaters. And, of course, the big one, March 21st, Snow White. And I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen for Snow White. Lily is going to have 500 of her favorite friends, and we're all going to go to the movie theater. We're going to make a big party out of it and eat too much popcorn and drink too much whatever and candy and everything. But Snow White on the 21st. Black Bag is on the 14th of March, and the Minecraft movie. I know. Lily is just freaking out about the Minecraft movie. April 4th is when that one comes out. We're going to dive into the community calendar here in just a little bit. But want to give a shout out to Nelson Ace Hardware. It is mornings like this, it is times like this when things happen. Okay, and I'll give you an example. My snow brush, the scraper, broke off. There may or may not have been some language when that happened. But if stuff happens on a morning like this and you're, frustrated. I went down yesterday, slipped on the ice. Came down. I was okay. But the whole side of my jeans were soaking wet, seemingly for the rest of the day. Frustrated? Oh, yeah. Tweaked the knee just a little bit. Not bad. If I had gone to Nelson's and got some rock salt, like I had been meaning to, and I put that down, it probably wouldn't have happened. Just saying. Will I be getting over there and getting a new snow brush for the car? Yes. With a decent scraper on there? Yes. I will be doing that. I know that Punxsutawney Phil said 6 more weeks of winter, and somebody should get a shot off on that thing. I'm a little tired of Phil coming out of the hole every year and saying 6 more weeks. But yes, we have more winter ahead of us. However, if you walk through the doors over at Nelson Ace Hardware, you will find hope and inspiration for warmer weather. They've got the Scott's Lawn products that are already lined up. They've got Ortho Home Defense. They've got stuff for the patchy lawn that you need to fix up. That's hope right there. When you walk into Nelson Hardware and you see grass seed, turf builder, stuff like that, means green weather is coming. Summer's coming. Speaking of green, almost forgot. Thank God the Shamrock Shake is back out. I've been waiting. As you know, I've been telling you, I've been waiting for a long time. Southbury's McDonald's has the Shamrock Shake. I will be talking about this over the next week or two. I know some of you are like, Jade, and every single year that I talk about the Shamrock Shake, I get the same thing from the same people. JD, do you have any idea how bad that is for you? Do you know what the chemicals are in there? Do you know what any of that stuff is? And you're consuming that? You're drinking that? It's disgusting. I wouldn't put that on my lawn. I hear that from people. Do not drink one of those. And they even tell me some of the chemicals that are in there. Then I have the others that are Shamrock Shake freaks like me. Wouldn't put one down. They'd put 3 down if they had the opportunity to. With extra whipped cream. Those are my people. Like Glenn Brummert, who was the first person to tell me that Southbury McDonald's had the Shamrock Shake. So, by God, I'm going to get over there, and I'm going to get at least 1 from me and Glenn, if not 2 each. And I'm going to get over to his house, and we are going to pound these things back. Might even stream live. I'm just glancing here at, and I'll be real honest with you. I'm glancing here at stuff that's going on in the world. And I'm seeing it all. And some of it is kind of freaking me out. Oh, JD, don't start with the whole fear-mongering thing. No, I'm not. Some of it really concerns me, and some of it, I just have to look away from and kind of giggle. Joe, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, JD. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Did you see this AI robot who had $5,000 to work with and got involved with the stock market and was able to flip that $5,000 in a week's time, Joe, to $38,000?
That one, JD, I have not yet, but I'm not surprised. I was
I
I was
heard
really interested.
I
Oh,
heard this
man.
last night, and I'm like, man, I gotta tell Joe about this. He probably already knows about it, but 38.
No, I've been.
So I don't know what the algorithms are. I don't know what the hell's going on here. But when we've got an AI robot, which is really, come on, let's be honest, it's really is. Can we say this? Is it true to say that it's really just a computer?
Yeah, but it's something that is programmed. It can find stuff. The interesting thing that I've seen everywhere, and I haven't seen this situation, but yesterday I saw another very alarming situation. I was actually going to see if you saw. I might have sent it to you. It was AI chatbot talking about some history stuff, and they get going back and forth. And this is with a college student, right? If I remember right, I think it's a Penn State student. That it was asking questions and going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And at the very end, it was basically like humans are worthless. You need to die. You know what I mean? In essence. And you guys can go Google that. It's been on top of a bunch of news agencies that are releasing it. AI is scary, man. And right now, I talk to guys who develop it who say it's really stupid. You know what I mean? It's not very smart. And that was kind of the premise, and they could hold it down. But you even see people like Elon and CEOs of Google and things like that who have stepped aside and said, hey, this is dangerous, this is bad. In 2 years time, the IQ of AI will be greater than a human, right? So if you don't think that it's scavenging the internet, because all it is a scavenger, right? So it goes on the internet, scavenges everything, finds a model that you're looking at, and again, it is programmable, right? So we set the parameters. Now, the scary part is in a couple of years is they are starting to rewrite their own programs, right?
Yeah.
So they're getting caught rewriting programs. Chat GPT, the first generation, was caught copying itself because it knew it was going to get shut down. So it copied itself, it hid itself, and then it lied about it. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I had a great, if I could think of the quote, it was a really good quote. It was, the problem that where it sources its information, right? Now, when we go online and we, as people, start talking bad about things, being mean to people, saying that people are the devil or the kids or this or this or this or whatever's bad, the Chat GPT or whatever AI program's reading all this, right?
Right.
And now, if the bad outweighs the good, what do you think what do you think the answer that machine's going to come up with for you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now they're powering everything with it, your cars, your everything. So what happens when one day it doesn't want to work for you? You know what I mean? Or respond to you, or it realizes that we're the problem. Like
I have a little girl who's 10, and you have a little boy who is what is he, 12, 13?
He's 12. Yep.
All right. Do you wonder, like I do, every hour of every day, what the life is going to be like of our kids when they are 30, 40, 50 years old?
The biggest thing I worry about, even beyond that, is that there's going to be a world left for our kids in 10 years. And this is why.
Yeah.
This is the way I look at it, right? And then I don't think enough people are talking about this. And in some circles, people are, right? But it's, we don't want to alarm people, right? So we don't want to talk about the potential issues. But, dude, think about this. They're saying in, 2 years' time, it's going to be way smarter than us, right? We're making it so it can self-write its own programs now in a few models, which is scary. So now we're taking the human aspect and that what we consider the current watchdog out of that program, and we're going to trust this thing to write its own programs. Now, my biggest fear, and I think this should be everybody's biggest fear as we're cheering on AI, is think about it, JD. 4 years from now, you don't have a job. I don't have a job. No artist has a job. They're already catching guys with these chat GPTs who are making millions of dollars making songs by artists that look like artists, but they don't exist. Like on Spotify, it's been a big thing. There's a guy out there that's facing millions of dollars of lawsuits and fines because of this. But the problem is in 5 years, 4 years, when we all wake up and chat GPT is or whatever AI is taking over everything, what are you going to do for a job?
Got a comment here saying, great conversations. It's important to appreciate the AI test that they discovered where it was copying itself and hiding was in the container where they test things and then fix them. So while it's important to test and fix those sort of things gets resolved, it's what they don't discover. Then maybe we want to be careful of being a fan of AI. Also a fan of paying close attention to the concerns here.
Right. So, 4 years from now will be 2030, right? Roughly, right? Now, if anybody's paid attention to anybody who's been talking about AI or robotics, this is where it gets even scarier. So Musk currently has said that there's going to be 20 billion robots by 2030. That's his own robots, not including anybody else's robots you see out there. So we have, 8 billion people on the planet right now? So we're going to be outnumbered 2-1. All right. And now they're already putting these robots in dealership, manufacturers, in food. McDonald's has an automated robot now, or an automated kitchen now that serves food on the daily, right?
Pizza.
Now, what happens when everything goes automated, gets done by a robot or AI smarter than you, so they don't need you for a job? I'm telling you, there's going to be a world of people out of a job. And then if we don't have a backup, because everyone's like, oh, we're just going to make money. Well, who the fuck's going to pay us, JD? Then the robot's going to see us as a waste of money, and they're not going to pay us. And then we're going to all be starving on the streets. And you think the looting was bad a few years ago? It's going to be, that's what I'm scared of. I'm afraid of all these people going out of a job, designers, code writers, anything to do with the arts. And now if you really read into all this AI, it was never even supposed to get into the arts. It was never supposed to take over like it did.
Yeah.
But people used the tool and utilized it in those fashions, right? So, and again, 3 years, JD, what happens when aired out is automated? Look at the radio, right? A lot of people don't realize radio is AI. It's autonomous. It's automated, right?
So many people don't realize that. There's no more DJs anymore. By the way, today is National Radio Day. Today.
Yeah. But happy Radio Day, AI,
Well, I mean, listen, I was in radio for 33 years. You were in radio for probably at least that.
15, 20 years.
Yeah, we've lived the changes, the transitions that industry has experienced, and I mean, now we've
welcome too, which is the craziest thing, right? Like, these radio stations are welcomed. You know why? Because the owners of these radio stations are fucking greedy. Rich people are greedy. That's the only way you get rich, right? If you're a fucking millionaire in this day and age, you've stolen something from somebody and you're greedy. There's no other way that you can tell me that the millionaire deserves to be a millionaire because he's not fucking somebody over, right? Now, when we're talking about billionaires, pay taxes, cut your prices down, make it more affordable for people to live. We have all these issues of, natural disasters where people are gouging, but these are the same people that we are expecting to give us tax breaks and, you know what I mean? Look out for our best interests. No. So they're going to replace all of us with robots so they can become more efficient. A robot will work 24 hours a day. A robot costs 1 year's salary of most of these an executive costs, right? Or somebody who has a good talent that is being paid for their talent, right?
Right.
Now,
comment here, respectfully, AI fear and scare is not much different when they said personal computers should exist, and the same about the internet and phones in everyone's pocket. I mean, that's a.
And I agree.
Yeah.
But you know what? At that point, when those computers came out, we were in control. We controlled it. It opened up the world for us to understand and learn more. AI is not opening up the world for us to learn more as people. It's opening up,
Right.
the ability to do all of our jobs now.
I remember, Joe, when I was a kid, early 80s, and the compact disc came out, the CD. And I remember there was conversation of like, someday, I know, man, I'm sounding like such an old bastard right now.
Well,
but I
JD,
remember
it's a hard place to live right now because we don't know, right? Like
yes. I remember when people were like, someday there's going to be CD players in cars, and you know what that means? That means no one will be listening to the radio anymore. I remember those days, Joe.
Yeah, well, we have generations of people that are so our kids now, you know what I mean? They live on their phones, right? They don't even socializing a child now is one of the hardest things to do unless you're a dedicated parent. Cheers to those parents who control their kids' computer time, who watch what they do, who take them out and take them hunting and play basketball, or have them in sports, or have them, learning, still being a human, right? So, there was a movie years ago, right? I'm trying to remember the name of the movie. A little robot dude that, and the whole world, these guys are flying around in planes because the world was doing its own thing, right? Yeah. And then we didn't have to feed ourselves. We don't have to get up. We don't have to go to work anymore. Imagine that day, like. And if you listen, they're telling you this. Like this, I'm not making this up. I'm just listening, right? So we can choose to not listen to people's opinions, even with politics, right? Like anybody knows me, I don't shy away from anybody. I do have an opinion, like everybody else does. But we have to be open-minded enough to see what the other side could possibly bring, and how do we stopgap that? I spent the night with a good friend of mine the other night who is an AI programmer, who's continually telling me that these things are dumb. These things are dumb. They're not very smart. I program. But what happens when the bad people in the world, right? Like I use this association the other day, guns, right? Yeah. We're here in Vermont. We are a pro-gun state, right? But we also take the time to educate our kids about it, right? But that same gun can fall into somebody else's hands who do not have good intentions and to try to destroy the world. Like, how many people do we know who are literally actively trying to destroy the world? What happens if ISIS gets it? What happens if
be careful because Mark is listening right now, and if we have more of this conversation, I could be shut down as I have been in the past.
I hope not. I just really want people
shut down because I was talking about the big event going on up at the Barrie Auditorium, which the big show up there that just happened last weekend. But I got a comment here. It says, no, the job will be taking care of the robots for a time. It won't be bagging groceries. It will be basic robotics to take care of the robot bagging groceries, changing our baseline. And then Josh also saying school will be robotic and coding instead of checkbooks and basic math. Basic math will be the kindergarten set list.
Awesome, and I hope that happens, and that is part of that equation. But again, it's just like tariffs and all these things. Like we do not have systems in place to handle what that's going to bring. Now you're going to tell me that bagger that you just said lost their job is going to go become a computer programmer? No. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real here. Like, I appreciate I want to talk to John and these guys because, as we get so excited for things that are going to replace people, and we get it. But this is not on a small scale. This is going to be on a global scale, right? This is every business. Everybody's going to be using it. Yes, the computers help. Yes, but they just help you become a more efficient person in learning and running and controlling things, right? That didn't replace 90% of the jobs out there. Are there going to be programmers? Yes. But JD, they are already programming these things to rewrite their own programs. So at that point, do we need anybody to do that? They are already found robots using plastic printers and metal printers to build other robots that they control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these things are happening. it's again, we can go back to that same word that we're not supposed to say,
Yeah.
and in the wrong hands, it becomes a weapon, and in the right hands, it becomes safety, right?
Yeah.
So
Have you,
that
Joe? Have you seen yesterday the photo of President Trump sitting behind his desk, the golden curtains behind him, and Elon standing there with a ball cap on with his fingers like
yeah,
this?
you want to know what I see going on there? I see people covering their tracks. I see people
Wow.
erasing their receipts. I see people who are taking care of the government. I just posted a thing literally as you were calling me about how much our government pays. One said unofficial official who leads an unofficial watchdog. They fired several investigators, right? Investigators. Trying to remember the name. You caught me way off guard this morning.
I'm sorry.
The inspector generals, right? So they're like, if you take a step back, and I hate to say this, but I don't want to. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not one way or the other. I don't
Yeah.
care for any party. I believe we need major reform in this country, but we're going after the wrong people. If you step back and look at what's going on, we are firing and taking out programs that are holding these said people accountable for certain things that they have done, who have been finding these people for many things that they have done. Now, if we want to fix our government in that aspect, why are we not going to the top and looking at the corporations and all these things and realizing how they can help balance out these things or help do a better job? No, we're erasing our kids. We're erasing the Department of Education. We're erasing all these protections that we have as people to what? So the billionaires cannot have rules anymore, and they can do whatever they want, and they're just making money off us. I haven't seen anybody go after a billionaire in this current administration yet, or taxes, or anything that they're doing. Right? It's just all these little programs that they're mismanaged. You know what? There's mismanagement everywhere in every business, right? And you don't go fire the whole company because somebody's mismanaging. When the guy who wrote the law to that company is the guy who's firing everybody. It's silly to me. But with AI, I'm scared, right? And then once we get AI implemented in the robots, how do we stop it? Is there a plug that we can pull?
Have you seen the, and if you haven't, I encourage you to Google it. Have you seen the video of the robot that looks exactly like Elon Musk?
Oh man, well then now you can buy sex robots. You don't think that's going to cause an issue in the world? You can buy this dog robot that when that thing, they can turn the switch to attack you, or they can turn the switch off to shut the thing down, right? But again, when it falls into the wrong hands, which globally we see this, right?
Yeah.
What if the Ukraine gets a bunch of robots?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to have them doing house chores for them? No, they're going to put them on the front line, go to war. How do you stop this? Now, we can't stop it as people, so now the other side goes and gets their robots. And now we have wars with robots, and we're sitting in the literal Terminator, and we're wondering what we're going to do. Now, again, we'll use that for a great example. What happens when they replace all of our soldiers with robots?
Sure.
I have a bunch of guys in the military that are defending robots, because to the point now that we're in society, it's helped us. Right? It hasn't been something that can think on its own.
Yeah, I got another great comment here from Jim. It says, and this brings great perspective. In the 80s, I was a computer programmer who had to go around to schools to explain we can benefit with all kids needing programming, or without all kids needing programming. Balance our concerns against benefits, teaching how to use the new innovation, not how to be the engineer that works on the innovation.
Right, but when we have 20 billion robots by one company, and that's not including Google, and if you see, Google has several, options of robots now that will take over the workplace. Our auto manufacturing companies are now going to be robotic. Again, what happens next year when these guys say, screw people, because again, people are horrible. They're stealing from me. Their IPs, everything. Now, it's going to be controlled by the globalists. Now, do we want to see China with 20 billion robots? What good is that going to do? We're going to put people out of work, and at a huge rate, because that's what the plan is, right? Again, I fall back to listen to a lot of these guys talk about AI and the concerns. Like, AI looks beautiful in one standpoint, right? Robots look beautiful in one standpoint. Hey, we can get guys that are going to work for us. But
Yeah.
what happens to the people that we displaced? They're just going to go into robotic engineering and writing code for these things. But again, I'm comfortable to that point. But
Yeah.
where I'm not comfortable is we're seeing it right now in today's day and age that these not very smart programs or very smart robots are manipulating us because we're manipulated people. They're learning from everything that we write down, right? Everything that goes on the internet, every insult, every because there's three sides to every story. Let's say that, right? There's the left side, there's a right side, and then there's the truth. And I'm going to use left and right just because of the current state of the situation
Yeah.
of the world we're in, right? Because we're too busy bickering about literally the same fucking thing, JD.
Yeah.
I
Right.
get messages every day. I'm never quiet about politics when it's shitty, and the worst thing that we can do right now is compare what we're in right now to something that happened before. That is
Yeah.
the worst thing we can do. It's like saying, it's like blaming Obama for something that's happening right now. It's like, wait, he was a president how many terms ago? You know what I mean? Like, did he make some fucked up shit? Sure. But at the end of the day, our politics are being driven by corporations,
Yeah.
right? We can argue about this all day long, but when the powers that be that make all the money, the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, the
Yeah.
whatever, they are the controlling our administrations are puppets, in my opinion, right? And they're designed to stay there to divide and as you've seen, and I'm sure people will agree, the last 10, 20 years of our administration, we're blocking so many great things because we can't let the other team win. Rex was on your show a few weeks ago talking about teams, and it was a great, great, great way to compare it, right? Like,
Yeah.
the right side's my team, the left side's my team.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the same exact situations, we still can't see that relationship, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've spent days literally texting people that I totally respect that do not agree with a lot of my views of it. I just try to take a realistic view about things, right? Because there's going to be a pro and a con to everything, right? There's a pendulum that shifts, right? So even with the tariffs, right?
Yes.
So can we bring back manufacturing to America? Yes, we can. Is that a bad thing? No, but think about what it's going to do for Americans.
Yeah.
And without talking about AI or robots, right? It is going to raise prices. It's going to put people back to work, but we don't have the warehousing. We don't have the manufacturing. We don't have the companies here, right? And then we have to talk about the bigger picture. Why they leave here? Oh, because labor was way cheaper somewhere else. They didn't have the oversight or all these rules to protect said people and or governments or whatever, right? So they have a restriction. So they go, hey, I can build this cheaper in China, right? It's cheaper for me. It's cheaper for us to send chicken to China to get let's say manufactured or
Right. Processed.
or whatever processed and then sent back
Sent
to
back
us.
to us. Unreal.
Right, but we as people, we don't see this and we don't care because our chicken's $2 cheaper a pound, right?
Right.
But now when we bring that manufacturing back to America, that guy that's in America who has a union, who wants to get paid $30 an hour for assembling whatever, right? Now you're looking at that $30 an hour guy. I was paying a guy 30 cents in another country.
Well-
We don't have the unions protecting us. We don't, and then we got to factor in the corporate greed and inflation. I mean, that's corporate greed. Inflation is literally corporate greed. Does Exxon have to record record-making years 5 years in a row? No. And then they're going to blame it on administration. It's just a point and blame game. Everybody wants to point at somebody else and deflect, right? Instead of taking care of the situation in front. But we got to look at it like that, JD. So
Yeah.
like that $5 whatever you bought will now have to be 15. It's like food, right?
Yeah.
I tell this to people all the time. Like me I manage restaurants and businesses and shops and things like that. And no one's going to complain about this. A guy the other day was complaining about paying $16 for breakfast at McDonald's, and he was pissed off at McDonald's. But what you don't realize is that everybody in the chain of from start to finish of whatever product you are buying
Sure.
has gotten a raise.
Yeah.
Right? We put a bunch of raises out there, which again, I don't disagree with paying people more money, but the more money we pay somebody, the more money that product has to be. The more
Yeah,
money
yeah.
we pay somebody, the more that product has to be. These guys work on guidelines, and now It's like the tariffs. Oh, we'll absorb them. We pay the tariffs in this country. American companies are paying tariffs. The country sending us whatever product is not paying anything more. Now, the hopes of that is to deflect us from buying products, right? Because it's going to be more money. They're going to lose sales. They're going to pull out. That's not, dude. With the world the size it is, that's not going to be an issue, right?
Yeah.
It is. We're paying the price. Now you're going to tell me that the shippers and these large companies who are already gouging the American people aren't going to continue to gouge them. They're going to absorb a 25% spike in their goods. That's 25%, JD. That's a quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. And there's oh my God, there's just so we're pretty much out of time here. I mean, there's so much to talk about with this, and you and I have to sit down and have a conversation about Kendrick Lamar too. So, and we got a comment here about oh my God, Joe, we have so much to talk about drones, and some of, I don't know if you saw it in the news, but some of what's going on up at our border with Canada involving drones. There's drone activity up there over the last week or two. Don't quote me on that. That is part of border security now. So people up in the kingdom might be seeing more drones in the air. I don't know. Started out with robots, AI robots getting involved in the stock market. And a robot in the news today, and I'll try to find the link and post it up here, taking $5,000 and in a week's time on the stock market, transforming that $5,000 into $38,000. An AI robot. Amazing. Some of the other headlines we're watching this morning, Burlington's interim police chief, that's a big story. We had a long conversation with Zach this morning about Bill Frazier, Montpelier city manager. Montpelier Bridge has got a pretty good write-up on that, if you'd like to check that out. Bill Frazier, after 30 years, come June, or end of June, will no longer be our city manager in Montpelier. Some rumblings in Vermont headlines about cash incentives to drug users who are staying sober. Something that our governor drew up. I don't know if I want to even go anywhere near that one. Yes, I know, Glenn. Head first, right down the rabbit hole. Trying to get out, bud. Marshfield is kind of freaking out about Verizon wanting to put up a cell tower, and Marshfield residents sounding the radiation alarms on that. That's a big story. We have the story of 42-year-old Andrea Martin over in New Hampshire. The kidnapping and long list of other charges that went along with Andrea, of that Justina Steffi, New Hampshire woman, last fall. That story's resurfacing, picking up some traction. If you want to read any of these, we'll get some links for you. Listen, yesterday was Wednesday. It was not just Wednesday, it was Wellness Wednesday over on Summer Street, 23 Summer Street. This is the Washington County Mental Health's very popular attempt to introduce some community-based, holistic approaches to self-care. They invite you into the doors at the WellSpace building, again, 23 Summer Street in Barrie, every Wednesday. Well, not every single Wednesday, but the first 3 of the month, starting at 4:30 until 7 o'clock. To come in, leave your wallet at home, everything's free. Sound healing, massage, chair massage, table massage, Reiki, acupuncture, acupressure. The list goes on. It's all free. And it's all delivered to you free from our presenting sponsor, Washington County Mental Health. And we love and adore them. They've been and continue to help thousands upon thousands of Vermonters every single year. And they've been doing it for over 60 years. I don't know what we'd do without them. Washington County Mental Health. Check them out all over social media. And if you're having trouble with anything in your life, get in touch with them. Find them, reach out to them on Facebook, on the web, wcmhs.org. Now, if you need help shoveling your driveway, they may not be able to help with that, but you never know. It wouldn't surprise me. Couple of, and also yesterday, Wing-A-Ding with Donna Thunder. They do it all the time over there, Wednesdays. Wings. Where? At the VFW, Post 790. And Donna Thunder was there playing music last night and having fun with everyone. This coming Saturday, the 15th, Lonnie Wade Memorial Fishing, Ice Fishing Derby benefit and silent auction and dinner. All going to be at the pub on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 15th. Need info? Just get on the pub. Stop into the pub. If you want to donate something to the silent auction, just do it. Check them out on Facebook. More importantly, get over there and enjoy a great meal at a silent auction and a couple of drinks and some great food and some laughter with friends on Saturday. Also Saturday, Dance the Night Away to Downtown Dan over at the American Legion, Post 10. $8 gets you through the door. It's going to be amazing. Looking forward to their February 27th All Veterans Dinner. It's at 5:30. All veterans are welcome. All veterans eat free. All you have to do is get in touch with the American Legion Post 10. Let them know you're coming so they can plan on food. 802-479-9058. Again, that's on the 27th. Meat Bingo on the 21st. They always have so much going on there. Great music, live music, dancing. Looking ahead to the Freezing Fun for Families Winter Co-Ed Softball Tournament 2025. This is the 25th year of having fun in the snow to raise money for Vermont families battling pediatric cancer. 25 years. Amazing. Freezing Fun for Families Winter Co-Ed Softball Tournament. God, I remember promoting this. I think it was year number 1 with Cass and Shelley. But it's Friday, February 28th through Sunday, March 2nd at the Barrytown Recreation Fields, 46 Websterville Road in Barrie. And check back often and keep watching the page. We put the registration link up there yesterday if you want to either donate and or register your softball team. But yeah, registration is open. Every little bit helps if you would like to get involved. The goal this year is to to hit the $275,000 mark. Already over $250,000. And I'm sure there are countless players, teammates, organizers, volunteers, committees for a freezing fund for families that are just shaking their head in awe that a number like this has been created organically. You talk ultimate grassroots effort, every dime staying right here in our state. Who else is having a winter co-ed softball tournament? It's made the Guinness Book of World Records. And we're doing it right here in central Vermont. And we have been for 25 years. It's amazing. Freezing fund for families. The recipient this year is a little 7-year-old by the name of Levi from Colchester. Levi, a 7-year-old, I'll get through it, stroke survivor who is currently fighting a brain tumor. Levi is about 2 years past diagnosis and still works hard every day to build back his old skills and stamina. Loves Spider-Man. Always has a smirk on his face. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of little Levi on the Freezing Fund for Families Facebook page, but it's amazing to think that this kind of stuff happens, but also amazing to think that this kind of stuff is fought so viciously by not only survivors and family members, but also our community that has fun in the snow, raising money to take on something like this. It's unbelievable. We're going to be chatting here in the studio with the highest fundraising team for this event of 25 years. They're going to be coming in here and sitting down and talking with us. And I can't wait. I just can't wait. I think it's next week. I'll let you know exactly when. And they have been the highest raising team for a long time. I think like the last 13 years or so. Also something going on this weekend that I used to go to and do when I was a kid, and it's a 103-year-old tradition. The Harris Hill Ski Jump. They always do it right around Valentine's weekend, where ski jumpers aim to break the 341-foot hill record, soaring at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. It's down in in Brattleboro. A Vermont signature event, and it is so much fun. The food, the bonfires, the beer tent, the cowbells, all of it. And to see these ski jumpers come from all over the world doing crazy stuff, flying through the air, hundreds of feet. It's unbelievable. I'll have to go down there on a inner tube. What else is happening this weekend? Rutland Winterfest, Center Street sledding, snow carving, the Great Bigfoot Chase, the chili cook-off, huge crowds. The annual Come Alive Outside Winterfest in downtown Rutland. Also, North Hero. The Great Ice is going on this weekend. Winter playground for all ages. Bonfires, fireworks, sled dogs, ice skating, cook-offs, snow building competitions. I'm barely scratching the surface. That's happening up in North Hero this weekend. There's so much stuff. So much stuff. Are we going to be talking about the ice bar? I was asked. It's coming up middle of March. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. I promise you. What else? What else am I missing something here? Help me out now. If I am, tell me. Talked freezing fun for families. Oh, yesterday, Linda Mercy was in here sitting down with me talking about the Travis Mercy Memorial Skate Park fundraiser, which is happening next weekend, a week from this Saturday, the 22nd. And that is also another staple Central Vermont community event that's been going on for 25 years. Amazing. Great Energy Stores, where it's going to start with an 8:15 registration. The sleds will leave at 9 o'clock for the poker run and then make their way to the Barrytown School for around 11 o'clock. And that's when Randy Henry and Snapper and Harry and a few others have been cooking up an incredible pulled pork dinner with salads and all kinds of fixings. Please believe me when I say that you absolutely will not go away hungry. I guarantee it. And you do not have to be on a snow machine. You can come by foot, snowshoe, cross-country ski, sled dog, horse and buggy, car, van, dirt bike, whatever way you want to get there, you're welcome to be there. It's going to wrap up mid-afternoon, but 11 o'clock is when the snow machiners are going to come in, and then they're going to start serving up the food around noon or so. $15. And every dime is going to go to the Travis Mercy Skate Park. Get in on the quilt raffle. Get in on the silent auction. Thank you to the Barrytown Thunder Chickens and Vast and the Mercies and all of the volunteers, Randy Henry and the Racing Chefs and everyone else who puts this on. It's going to be amazing. Is that it? Is that it? I think, well, did we talk about the movies? Yes, we did. I'm going to venture out. It looks like we've got a little bit of a lull here in the weather. At least what I'm seeing here, sitting like feet from the sidewalk. But more of it is coming. Snow, sleet, freezing rain, winds. Going to be blowing. 40 to... I saw last night before I went to bed, I was looking at the cell phone. I know you're not supposed to do that before you go to bed. But I was looking last night. 40 to 60 mile an hour winds, depending on where you are. Thank you, Taylor. Saying fireworks by North Star at Sugarbush on Saturday with a whole lot of fun. Whole lot of stuff going on all weekend long. I forgot about Sugarbush. Thank you for reminding me, Taylor. God, do they still have the tube sledding there? God, it's so much fun. Years ago they did that. Yeah, Sugarbush, good time. Drive carefully today. So says Becky. So says me. Go easy. Take it easy. Be careful. All right? Thanks to all of our presenting and supporting sponsors for bringing you the Aired Out podcast each and every morning live from Barrie, beginning at 9 a.m. or as close to 9 as I can get. This morning I was running a little late. Roads. Plus, these days I've been tethered close to the bathroom. I don't know. I think I ate a little something last night. I don't know. Be careful today, all right? Please.